around tonight. Texas Tech face off in the winner-take-all Game 3 of the Women's College World Series, 8 Eastern, ESPN. Soccer, Great Britain's King Charles will grant the title of knight to former England player David Beckham.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown. I amuse you.
The lunchtime whistle and the morning's finally done. I'm jumping in my car. I'm gonna have a little fun. The Doghouse Network's on my radio dial. Big Dog's taking care of business for a while. Listen to another station I don't understand. Nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
Give us a call, Steve.
He's a northern-bred, southern-fed, slick-talking guy. Listeners in his posse are the junkyard dogs. The SEC from Tennessee to calling them hogs. They go up to Lexington to the Titan Tiger Land. Nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Somebody respond.
Baby. Here we go. Find the train. Football fight. Always Football Friday in the Doghouse, regardless of how much football is on the show. And Football Friday means football music throughout the show, and football music means this little ditty to get things started. The greatest football song ever recorded in the history of mankind. It's the original Monday Night Football theme for those of you that are in the great unwashed. We got plenty of ground to cover today. We got a busy show for you today. Since we were last with you on Wednesday, we had an epic meltdown. We had two epic comebacks. We had an epic three-hole stretch by Wolverine Dan that really has a little bit of controversy attached to it, to be quite honest with you. But first, how about a little homage to epic heroism? 81 years ago today, American soldiers stormed Normandy Beach on what became known as D-Day. These were the bravest of the brave, landing in those troop carriers loaded with gear, being fired upon by the Germans from the hillside. I mean, we took that beach, liberated Europe from the clutches of the Nazis, and changed the path of the world forever. Forever. So let's not forget those brave souls today on D-Day. Now, having said that, we welcome those of you that are watching on the X, the Facebook, the YouTube. Check that out if you haven't yet. You can snag that video at my X feed at Thom Abraham Show. Welcome those of you listening on apps as well. Those of you listening in Nashville on WNSR and in Winchester on WCDT and in Huntsville on our flagship station, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. 6 signals in all carrying the show. Just one phone number, 256-576-4977 gets you into the show. That's 256-576-4977. You can text the show, 732-9TA show, 732-982-7469. A great way to communicate with us. Great way. Now, you need to check out Big Zone deals as well for great deals all around the Tennessee Valley, and coming soon, Big Nash deals as well for tremendous offers throughout Middle Tennessee. Just find those on the Google machine and get an account, and then you'll be notified of the deals on food and golf and more. Now, today, in honor of next week's U.S. Open at Oakmont, we put up a great deal on Cherokee Ridge Golf Course, only good for the weekend. 2 players in a cart, not only good that you can only play on the weekend. I mean, it's only good that this sale is only good this weekend. 2 players in a cart for $50. It's an $80 savings. $80 savings. 2 players in a cart. Coming up in this hour of the show, Beau Estes from NBA TV, NBA.com will join us as the finals got underway last night in stunning fashion with that man Tyrese Halliburton coming up stones again in the clutch, knocking down the game winner with 0.3 seconds left on the clock as the Pacers came back from down 15 in the fourth quarter. That was the 5th time Indiana pulled that off, down at least 15 in this playoff alone. And they're now, I think, 7-2 on the road in these playoffs. And that was after 19 turnovers in the first half, the most in a finals game by any team in 35 years. So that was one of the great comebacks. The other great comeback that we saw since we were with you last was the Oilers in game 1 of the Stanley Cup final and in the third Wednesday night, where they came back, tied it up at 3, and then win with 30 seconds left in OT on Leon Draisaitl's second goal of the game. And for the record, that game 1 did outdraw game 1 of the softball final, just in the U.S. Of course, you had it in Canada, and it's huge. But just in the U.S., game 1 of the Stanley Cup final, remember we had that question with David Moulton, would game 1 of the Stanley Cup in the U.S. outdraw game 1 of Texas Tech in the softball final? It did. It was close, though. It was close. $2.44 million on the hockey, $2.11 million on the softball. Now, we'll see what that looks like tonight. Game 2 of the Stanley Cup final goes up against the softball championship game after Texas Tech won yesterday. So now tonight, they'll have their, third and final game, the championship game tonight. Now, this is also TNT versus ESPN. So there's that as well. And by the way, speaking of ESPN, Mike Breen is a solid play-by-play man, but Doris Burke and Richard Jefferson are awful. Okay, I'm just going to say it right now, they're awful. I had the game, I was listening to the game in my earbuds. Are they earbuds or earpods? What do they call them things? Earbuds, earpods, whatever those things are, they come with your iPhone. They don't come with your iPhone. It costs a couple $100, but I had those things in my ear because I'm watching the second half of the game after my wife goes to sleep in bed and I don't want to bother her. So they connect via Bluetooth to the sound bar and I can just listen to it that way. And it's nice and clear. But the thing is that, you can hear her lisp and it's just, she's terrible. Richard Jefferson adds nothing. They had a tremendous thing going. They had Mark Jackson. They had Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy. Those 3, Breen, Jackson, and Van Gundy, did 15 NBA finals. 15 NBA finals. I had no idea why they blew that team up. No idea. At the top of the one today, National Football Foundation COO Matthew Sine will join us to discuss the Hall of Fame process and other things affecting college football these days. Remember, one of the things that they did was lower the threshold for coaches from a 600 winning percentage to a 595 winning percentage, which opens up the door to Jackie Sherrill, Les Miles, and, of course, Mike Leach. And I'm on record as saying how much I liked Mike Leach. Love the guy. He was great for college football, but I don't think he's a Hall of Fame coach. I really don't. Now, we know he never won a natty. In 21 years, he never even won a conference championship. He appeared in 2 conference championship games and lost both of those and was 8-9 in bowl games. Not a Hall of Famer. The innovator, yes. Hilarious interview, no doubt. Great rants. I got a whole page of Mike Leach stuff. When he makes it into the Hall of Fame, we'll play them all. But still, he's not a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Fame interview, but not a Hall of Famer as a coach, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. Also, in the second hour of the show, we will visit with Alan King from My Home Window to see what's going on with those guys as well. Tragic, horrible news coming out of Tuscaloosa with the word that Keelan Russell's twin sister was found dead. She was enrolling in Alabama as well. She also was an athlete, but not a college athlete, but she was an athlete in high school. I cannot imagine. I can't imagine losing a sibling. I have two sisters. I can't imagine losing a sibling. I can't imagine losing a child, a grandchild, a bunch of them. I can't imagine it. But I understand for twins, it's even worse. I mean, the bond that twins have is something unlike anybody else, I believe, from what I understand. I don't know, but I've heard and read that for twins, I mean, it's like part of you died. It's got to be crushing. And there seems to be a lot of mystery right now as to what happened. All they are saying is that doesn't seem to be any criminal activity. I mean, that could mean a lot of things. I don't want to even speculate. I don't want to spread rumor. Something comes out that's got some fact attached to it. Fine. I'm fearing the worst in terms of what happens with kids. But they say that no criminal behavior. That's all they have said. There's no criminal behavior involved in this. I hate it. Thoughts and prayers for the family. Hate it. And let me just get this out of the way. Worst Braves loss since ever. Let me give you some, let me flesh out this 11-10 loss last night that they led 10-4 in the ninth inning yesterday afternoon. In the last 52 years, we're talking about since the 1973 season. 52 years. The Braves led a game by at least 6 runs in the ninth inning 766 times. Their record in those 766 games that they led by at least 6 in the ninth inning was 766-0. It's now 766-1. The D-backs had never in their history, and I know their history only goes back to the 90s. The D-backs, though, in their history, had never come back from down 6 in a game in the ninth inning. In over 500 games that they trailed, I think it was 544, something like that, games that they had trailed by at least 6 in the ninth inning, and never, 0. They were 0 in 544. That's how bad it was. That was how bad. Blew it, and got sent down. Craig Kimbrell back with the Braves. North Alabama's Craig Kimbrell. So I had to say that. I had to get it out before I introduce Joe. He's over there in mission control. He's playing the platters that matter, the stacks of wax, lining up the football music for you. He's answering the phones. He's living large and in charge. Heard those stats and threw up a little bit in his mouth.
Do you know who I am?
So, who is this?
Who is this guy?
Who in the blue hell are you?
I'm the producer of this show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put this thing together on a spit and polish.
I'm very important.
I think this is one of the traits of a really good producer. Keep the talent happy.
I don't like my own sound. I'm a businessman.
You want to boo me? Fine.
Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
You come at the Kings, you better not miss.
Know your role and shut your mouth, you jabroni.
Let me show for y'all. Got a damn good show.
I will not wear that gaudy wig.
Some people call it an epic comeback. That would be the third epic comeback. Others would call it an epic meltdown. I'll go meltdown. Joe, I had to get those stats out. I had to get those stats out to you before I brought you in because I didn't want you to, start banging your head on the floor or something like that.
Oh, this is just that back end of that bullpen. The way that I've said is that's what you need to fix. And at this point in time, you also need to start thinking about letting Snicker go. Yeah, this is look. You're in June right now. You still have an ability to turn this team around. This team is way too good to miss the playoffs. Yeah, there's
Is there things that you can point to with Snit that would make you say, he's doing something that causes, he's not the pitching coach. He's not he's not the general manager. He's not responsible for the back end of the bully, which they thought, I'm sure was decent. I don't know that Craig Kimbrell at this point in his career is the answer. We'll see what he can do. But I mean, is there anything that you could specifically point to other than just a change of scenery to where you say Snit has to go?
You just need to change the voice. And I get it. You're not angry at the guy. He's got an amazing history with Atlanta, and especially with the franchise. But you need somebody different in there, different voice, different atmosphere, different ideas, all that sort of stuff. Just with this season and with this team, that you can change. Just a small change like that. A lot of times it'll happen when a player gets traded. You can see that just that little thing can kind of shock a locker room into getting back on track. This team is way too talented enough that you shouldn't even be thinking about how you're not in the playoffs. And the Kimbrell thing, that's a short-term fix. There's a reason why the Braves were able to pick him back up. He's lost 4 and 5 miles per hour on his velocity, on his fastball. He's not the same pitcher that he was the first time he's with the Braves. And not that he can't be a good pitcher. He's just not a closer anymore. He's more of a 7th and 8th inning guy that's going to be able to hold it for you, either keep the game tied or he's going to be able to get you to the 9th inning. But this team needs back into the bullpen help. And between that and you need a shortstop, those things I get, but you've got to make some changes or this is going to be a lost season because this team is too talented. Like there's no reason this team should be in this position.
It's feeling like we're getting, 11 out of 14. They've lost their last 11 out of 14 games or 11 out of the last 14 games. It's starting to feel like a lost season right now. The way this thing is going, double digits back now. It's just, and it's one of those seasons where you see these things. Remember, like I said, the game I went to, they get excellent pitching, they score 1 run. Here in this game, they score 10 runs, they lose. I mean, what the heck's going on? You know what I mean? That kind of stuff doesn't. There's a certain amount of puck luck involved, I guess, when it comes to that.
And then so again, you have those incidents like Ozuna's, line drive that he hit the other night where you have the center fielder for not Tampa Bay, but for Arizona, just literally jumping up and making a fantastic play. You have Corbin Carroll jumping up off the brick wall and stealing one away from Acuna. Like those plays are going to happen, but you also need to be getting 2-out hits. I mean, that's the other issue. This team is awful when it comes to hitting with 2 outs. And that is a mental thing. That is absolutely just the way that you go to the plate and the appearances that you're making that way. Matt Olson should be a lot more money than what he is in 2-out situations. Ozuna, I think he's the last year of his contract. That's what I'm saying is if you're going to go ahead and punt on this season, you trade him away so that you can pick up a piece. You give Drake Baldwin the opportunity to hit every single day. You get rid of Chris Sale and you trade him away while he's still pitching good. And you bring in, younger talent where you can utilize them next season. Like that's the stuff it is, but this team is still too good. Like that. There's too much talent on this team for them to be in a situation where they're 11 games back in the division this early on, that this is one of those things where somebody has to be the fall guy. And you've got to change things up because you can make it in June and this team can still make the playoffs.
I felt this way about Aaron Boone a couple of years ago when the Yankees missed the play. You talk about a talented team with all of that money and all of that talent, and then the Yankees had missed the playoffs. And I was like, this was like, 2 years ago, right? When they missed, and I was like, he's got to go. I mean, they got to change. They got to change something. The message isn't getting through, and so on. And then last year they go to the World Series. So I don't. And Aaron Boone has never won a World Series like Snit has. So I mean, I wonder whether or not it would be a knee jerk reaction. I don't know.
And I understand
I know one thing,
but the whole thing is that with this team, it is one in which the players that you have there, you have invested a lot into a lot of these players for them to be there for a long term, that you're not going to get rid of Olsen. You're not getting rid of Acuna. You're not getting rid of Riley. Like those are your core guys. Right. Ozzie Albies, yeah, I would renegotiate with him, but there's way too many. You're not getting rid of Strider. Like those are the things. So the only other option is the leadership. The leadership has to change.
I wonder if I wonder if Chipper would have any interest. I mean, he's working that keyboard pretty good these days. I mean, all of a sudden we're hearing from him all the time. I wonder if he'd have any interest in climbing into a dugout.
The way baseball,
or if he's like, no, I don't want that commitment.
Well, the way baseball is right now, somebody like Chipper is the direction you go. I mean, you look at a lot of former players that they've been gone 3 or 4 years, and then next thing you know, they're the manager of a team. Steve Moltz and I were talking about it yesterday. He actually has a great idea because I thought about Brian McCann because I think Brian McCann is going to help Team USA in the WBC and coaching there. And I was like, catchers make great managers, and he looked at me and says, well, why not the manager of the WBC? And that's Mark DeRosa. Mark DeRosa has been able to coach both Team USA. He's got them to the championship. He knows about managers. He's got a great relationship with a lot of players in a lot of the league. Like, he's a respected guy.
Yeah.
I would actually look at that way as well. He's got connections to the Braves, and he's all over MLB Network nowadays. So you have somebody that a lot of people know what they're doing, and he's going to be coaching a lot of the best players in America coming up next spring.
Throw this out there. I want to put this on the fire before we take the break. Yesterday, kidnapped by Wolverine Dan and Badger Larry and Bama Brad to go play golf. And I hadn't touched a club in a year. It's been a year since I touched a club. And I have been playing as much as once a year for the last 3 or 4 years. I mean, I've played literally 3 or 4 rounds of golf in the last 3 or 4 years, about once a year. So I wished I had a chance to go play a little bit before. I don't want to embarrass myself too much. But we went out. We had a great time. We went over to Bear Trace at Tim's Ford State Park, and the course is in incredible shape. They rebuilt all the greens. The greens are tour-grade greens. I mean, they're unbelievable how good the greens roll. But the whole course is in great shape. It's not just that. I mean, they're doing some work in some fairway traps that they filled in, and they're putting new sod down and things like that. But they haven't even gone through a full growing season yet. And, I mean, anyway, course is in tremendous shape. Bear Trace in Tim's Ford State Park is in great shape. So if you're anywhere near there, those of you who are listening in Tennessee or even in Huntsville, it's not that far a run, a place you might want to try out and go. And the vistas, the lake, I mean, it's just incredible. So we go in there. And for my sake, I got to say, I was pretty pleased. I thought for sure I'd shoot 100 plus. I mean, I thought I would be going to have a hard time getting the ball airborne. I did not score well. But I didn't hit a ton of bad shots. I misjudged some irons because I don't hit the ball as far as I used to. I've hit some bad shots, but I hit a lot of really decent shots. My chip shots were off because I was misjudging the speed of the greens. I just had, the touch comes back last. But I hadn't played a year and went out and scraped it around 47, 47, 94. Okay, fine. I mean, it's not something I'm proud of, but it's better than 104, right? So I'm feeling okay that without having touched a club in a year, I can scrape it around for 94. Wolverine Dan, he started out really bad. He was playing terribly. And then all of a sudden, he starts playing decent. To the 9th hole. And he's got like 170 yards to the green after his drive. It's a tough hole. The 9th hole's a difficult hole. Narrow, uphill. He's got 170 left. He's going to hit driver off the deck. Maybe 165, 170. Decides he's going to hit driver off the deck. So he hits it. It goes left. I think it hit a tree, a mailbox, bounced off a sprinkler head, got a kick off the side of a trap, and rolls up to about, 4 or 5 feet, maybe, for birdie. I get up to the green. I'm getting ready to say to Dan, all right, Dan, let's see a birdie, baby. Maybe it was 3 feet. 3.5, 4, 3. So I get up there and I'm thinking, come on, Dano. Let's see that birdie. Ball's gone. Where's the ball mark? Where exactly are you? Ball mark's gone too. He raked it. He raked the birdie putt. Maybe 4-footer. Maybe 3-footer. Something like that. and it's a birdie. Now, Brad was actually just inside of Dan, but Brad had like 3 feet for like double bogey. He had been rattling around somewhere in the woods or whatever, and he had like 3 feet for double bogey. So as soon as Dan raked his 4-footer, Brad raked his 3-footer. He's like, well, his is good, mine's good. So they're like good. They're good from like 3.5 feet. Oh, so my question is for my golfing friends out there. And Joe, you play golf. You played, don't play as much because of those 3 little rugrats running around, but you played. I mean, is it if you're a player, now he shot 89 because 2 holes later he makes another birdie. This one he actually snaked in about a 30-foot putt downhill, and it's on a par 3 he makes a 2, snakes it in, and it's a legit birdie. So he made 2 birdies in 3 holes and shot 89 at a difficult track. He went out and shot 89. So it was a good job by Wolverine Dan. But Joe, can you rake a 4-foot birdie putt? I mean, don't you have to make a 4-foot birdie putt? I mean, you just go up, yeah, that's good for bird. I mean, really?
I thought it just had to be like club distance, like your putter's distance.
Well, that's what they do. They play that inside the leather thing, which is, they stick. Now, some people do inside the leather. The leather is the from the butt end of the club to the grip, which means 12, 14 inches, something like that. That's inside the leather. Some people do inside the leather. You stick the club head in the hole and you pull the club head out, and that's leather. I don't know that this was inside the leather.
That's what I'm saying.
Close to maybe inside, but it's a birdie, Joe. Shouldn't you have to make that knee-knocking 3-footer for birdie? If it's a 3, let's say it was inside the leather. And what's a putter length? 35 inches, 32 inches. It's almost 3 feet. Shouldn't you have to rattle that sucker into the hole for birdie? Can you rake a birdie?
No, I would want to make. I'd want to shoot it just because I would want the satisfaction.
But to putt it. Right. You want to hear that noise. You want to sink that sucker because 3 feet, 3.5 feet for birdie, the cup looks like a shot glass. You know what I mean? It's a little different. I'm just saying, love him. It's my buddy. We rode together, had a great time. I'm just saying, people, is it okay to rake 3.5 for bird? Amongst saying they went good. Nobody else was saying good. Larry was on the back of the green. I had 40 feet for par or something. I don't know. They went good. And there was nobody behind us. By the way, there was nobody pressuring us. Just saying. All right. I'd love to talk to Dan, but right now I can't because we have Beau Estes coming up at the bottom of the hour. So he's going to have to just hold that thought. We'll come back with Beau Estes next, right here on the Thom Abraham Show.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Thom Abraham here for my friends at Your Home Window Company. When it comes to replacement windows, exterior doors, or new window screens, Your Home Window is the answer anywhere in Huntsville, Athens, Decatur, or Hartselle. Your Home Window windows and doors are made here in the USA and come with a lifetime warranty. When replacing those old windows or doors, Your Home Window has the solution for you. In-home estimates are always free and financing is available. Learn more at yourhomewindow.com and see clearly with Your Home Window. Visit yourhomewindow.com to make an appointment today.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says, because try losing one of those little games. And if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title. Because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal, and we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beebs likes to say, there's no doubt about it.
Have you ever turned your back on God? Have you ever absolutely known the right thing to do and just turned around and walked away in disobedience? I know that I have. Aren't we thankful for our great and merciful God who loves us and forgives us and remembers our sin no more? I'm so thankful that his mercies are fresh every day. I need that, and I suspect you do too. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of Cross Point Church, and if you're looking for a church home, come see us. We're smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison, and check us out at cpcfamily.org.
Thom Abraham here for Valley Equipment Rental. You know, if you're a contractor installing fences, you need Valley Equipment Rental for augers of all sizes. And if you need a forklift to get those shingles up high on a roof, Valley Equipment has 10K lifts that reach to 56 feet. Valley also has tow-behind lifts that have a working height of 35 to 55 feet as well for power washing those two-story homes or doing whatever else you need to do. Lifts, forklifts, tow-behind lifts, 35 feet and up. They have your lift at Valley Equipment Rental. 2 locations, North and South Parkway. Valley Equipment Rental.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This segment of the Thom Abraham Show is brought to you by Your Home Window. You know, when it comes to replacement windows or exterior doors or new window screens, Your Home Window is the answer. Anywhere in Huntsville, Athens, Decatur, or Hartselle. Your Home Window windows and doors are made right here in the U.S., and they come with a lifetime warranty, and they're always going to help you out with an in-home estimate for free, and financing is available. Check them out. It's yourhomewindow.com. Yourhomewindow.com. Welcome back to Thom Abraham Show. Of course, it's Football Friday in the doghouse, but we also have a lot of other stuff going on, including the NBA, NHL finals. If it's NBA, final. If it's NHL, which is really proper because there is only one, there's only one series. So this is the final, right? Joining us now to talk about that and other things is Beau Estes, NBA TV, NBA.com. He joins us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Beau, that's a little pet peeve of mine. It's a pet peeve of mine that it's NBA Finals and it's just one series, so it should be NBA Final.
You didn't enjoy the Super Bowls in February, Tom? You didn't enjoy
No, I didn't.
Golf?
I think I wasn't down with the Super Bowls. No, I wasn't. By the way, before I get to that, let me ask you a question. Are you a golfer? Do you play golf at all?
Oh yeah.
Oh, so you love playing golf. Okay, good. I'm a golfer too. I don't play. I played in college 100 years ago, but I don't play nearly as much as I used to. I want to get back into it more so, but I just rarely seem to have the opportunity to play, and I'd rather be on the water if it came down to it. If I had 4 hours, I'd rather go on the water than at the golf course. But played golf with some great legendary listeners of the show yesterday because we were knocked off the air by the Braves day game. And so they're like, come on, let's go. And we went to this beautiful golf course that's right on the lake where I live. And they came up, for it. And we had a very good time. I mean, this was not great golf played by anybody. This was 90 golf. We were playing bogey golf, for the most part. But, having said that, my buddy, my longtime listener of the show, 20-year listener of the show, he shot 89. And on the 9th hole, he had about 3.5 feet for birdie after he hit a driver off the deck from about 170. And I think it hit a tree and maybe a sprinkler head, and then
a driver from 170.
Yeah, driver off the deck from 170. He goes, I got no length anymore. Now he's 65 years old, but still, driver off the deck from 170. And anyway, it rolls up to
percentage play.
Yeah, so it rolls up to around 3 feet. Let's say 3 feet. I'll be generous and say 3 feet. I might have been 4. I'll say 3 feet, right? So I get up there. We all get up there on the green, and I'm ready to say, all right, Dano, let's see that birdie putt. Freaking ball is gone. Ball's gone.
What?
And I'm like, I'm looking for the marker. Like, where's your ball mark? Marker's gone. He raked a 3-footer for birdie. I mean, come on now. I mean, if you're a guy that plays bogey golf, can you rake a 3-footer for birdie, or do you not have to make that putt?
I need to see that if I'm playing with it. There's no way, especially let's even add to it. If it's for birdie, I definitely need to see it.
I mean, Tiger Woods at a practice round rakes 3-footers for birdie. I mean, everybody knows, yeah, that's good, Tiger. But he's like, and the guy he was, and there was another guy that was like, one of the other guys in the foursome was like 6 inches away from him, and so they went good. On that one was birdie, the other was like double bogey, and he's like, well, if he's raking his, I'm raking mine. And me and the other dude are like on the back of the green, 30 feet away, getting ready to putt. And next thing you know, they're like in the cart already, getting drinks or something. I'm like, what's going on here?
You know who would have liked to have raked those? Rory McIlroy.
Yeah.
U.S. Open at Pine.
Yeah.
He's the U.S. Open champion at that point.
And he had to make the putt. Exactly. He had to make the putt. Speaking of the finals, you wouldn't have known that it was the finals by just turning on the TV and looking at the court. I mean, where was the finals logo? Where was the O'Brien trophy? Where was the patch on the jerseys or something? I mean, goodness gracious, did they just OKC in 5? We're just going to forget it. I mean, what's up with that?
Well, it's a little odd because the one concern is that these finals are going to seem small time because it's small towns in the finals. So wouldn't you do everything you could to combat that idea? Make it seem as large as you can. Yeah, it's what you're saying is a common complaint, and honestly, the NBA should have been on that. I do wonder if there's a correction in Game 2, or if they hold with what they've got so that they don't look like they're answering, social media and regular media or whatever. Because you don't want to be chasing that. But it's Oklahoma City. I don't know if you've been there. It's a big town if you're from a small town, but it's not anything like a New York. It's not like an LA. Indianapolis is the same thing. You need to make it seem like a big event.
Yeah, I would think that that's on the league, not on the local team, to dress up the court and all that stuff. I mean, look, they give it for that goofy in-season tournament that is ridiculous in my opinion. In December, they roll out this whole special court and everything else. I mean, they make a big deal out of that. This is the NBA Finals, and they don't do anything. I mean, I thought that was weird, but in any event, so Tyrese Halliburton
Yeah.
This is insane. This is insane. Now, I know I should hate this kid. I really, as a Knicks fan, I should hate this kid. And I know the choke sign thing was, but that's just because of Reggie. I'm not going to hold that so. I'm having a hard time disliking Tyrese Halliburton. I really am, and I have a great appreciation for Clutch. I mean, this is magical what this kid is doing. Magical what he has done. This is crazy. I couldn't believe it.
This is one of the great clutch runs you'll ever see. I mean, I'm talking, look at anybody ever. There's a stat I saw. He's made 13 of 15 shots to tie or take the lead in the final 90 seconds or overtime this regular season and playoffs. When it comes to clutch, Tyrese Halliburton is just lighting it up. At some point, you have to say, this is no fluke. 13 of 15. He wants the ball at the end of the game, Tom, and when he gets the ball, he makes it. It's not even shots that he normally takes, and he's still drilling it. So I'm blown away because, honestly, he didn't have a great statistical game like, some of those games you saw in the Knicks series. He wasn't that incredible. But when the game's on the line, boy, if you watch the replay, he ran back to get the ball. He really did. And he had options.
Mm-hmm.
Obi Toppin was open, and Obi Toppin was lighting it up in this game. Obi Toppin was open. There was a moment where he could have dumped it to Pascal Siakam. He was taking that shot. He wanted that shot. So, I'm incredibly impressed with Tyrese Halliburton and the way he's playing. I mean, he's having sort of, if I'm really honest, a Magic Johnson style playoff. He really is with the assists and the points and the clutch leadership. He's really putting together an old school Magic Johnson style playoff, and that is critical for these Pacers as they continue to move along. Look, I'm of the opinion that this game one was a little bit odd. The numbers just don't make any sense in the world, and it could end up being like that Allen Iverson 48-point performance in 2001, game one of those NBA Finals where they win game one and they get just crushed the next 4 games. It could be that. I'm not saying it is, but it could be. But what Tyrese Halliburton's doing has got to make you believe.
Yeah, no, it does. And, the criticism in the NBA for the last, 30 years is it's so top heavy in the playoffs, right? I mean, you just don't win on the road and so on and so forth. I think they're 7-2 on the road in the playoffs. I mean, just absolutely amazing what they have done. And you have to go all the way back to the 1995 Houston Rockets to find a 4 seed or lower to actually win the NBA championship. Now, I still think OKC wins this thing, and they were the best team in the league, and yada yada yada. I just don't think it's 5 anymore. Maybe it's maybe it was 7. Who knows? But that's the other part of it that is so amazing throughout this entire playoff that we saw. We've seen a much more competitive playoff than we had seen in the past.
I think that, the way that people have long built rosters, even, up to 4 or 5 years ago, you get a big 3, you build around an absolute superstar. The Golden State Warriors had Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. Cleveland put LeBron together with a couple of other guys. And it's worked. It's really worked. Now, if you look at these teams, there's an incredible amount of depth on both squads. So it's a lot of B-plus players plus an A or A-plus player in the case of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who was incredible last night. And what I think that does is it brings more fans into the game. It gives other, home bases a reason to believe. Look, Knicks fans had a reason to believe this year. How long has it been since that? But, if you even go farther than that, look at those Cleveland Golden State series of the late teens. We knew those teams were going to be in the finals at the start of the year. We knew it. And that's boring to me if you're an Indiana fan. That's boring if you're a Minnesota Timberwolves fan. And it's no longer like that. I would seriously doubt that these two teams meet in the finals again next year. I would seriously doubt it. To me, that's great for the NBA.
No, it is good. And it was certainly was an exciting game last night. Now, I said this in the open, and I don't expect you to be overly critical because, but I will say it. So I watched the game with my earpods in there, whatever it is, because my wife falls asleep, and then I pop those things in. It works with the sound bar, and then I get that kind of sound. I thought during the regular season, I casually watch the NBA now during the regular season, and I watch it for 2 months pretty closely in the playoffs. And I knew that I was missing Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy with Mike Breen. But watching that game last night with my earbuds in and having to listen to Doris Burke and her lisp and listen to Richard Jefferson say nothing, I don't understand. I don't know what happened. I don't know why Mark Jackson. I mean, they did 15 finals together. I thought Kevin Harlan was amazing. I spoke to him after the series ended as well. He is incredible. I thought Kevin Harlan was great. I thought Reggie Miller was great, even in the wake of it being Reggie Miller in Indiana. I thought handled it pretty well. I thought he did a good job with it. Stan Van Gundy, just a shade under his brother Jeff Van Gundy. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. Why they broke that team up, but it just didn't feel. The whole thing just did not feel NBA final worthy. Not only was there nothing on the court, but Mike Breen's not as good as Mike Breen was when he had Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy with him, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, when you trade away great teammates, the one thing I think that people lose here is that what we're doing at the end of the day is an entertainment product. And Jeff Van Gundy and Mark Jackson were, obviously they're expert coaches and everything like that, but they're entertaining, really, really entertaining. And I think, where statistically other people can bring you some numbers on a broadcast and stuff like that. Richard Jefferson and Doris Burke, for me, are not as entertaining as Jeff Van Gundy and Mark Jackson were. So it's a fall off. And I think, maybe there's some numbers that they were asking for in their contract that could have been a deal breaker. But I just think, boy, you've got to really, the thing that Inside the NBA did was they figured out that you're entertaining people. And that ended up making them the greatest sports studio show of all time. And that, think about what ESPN did. ESPN bought a show from TNT. That's how far they've separated themselves from everybody else. Now you could ask yourself, maybe ESPN starts looking in TNT's announcer field and try to make some changes there. I think Mike Breen's incredible, but I do think, they have some people on their roster that don't get as much attention as they should and could potentially rise to the occasion. Everybody loves Tim Legler. Tim Legler is an incredible broadcaster, and Scott Van Pelt loves him, sticks him on as much as he can. Is he entertaining enough? Well, let's see. Let's put him out there. But I think that, they have to make some solid decisions as to entertaining the audience while you're telling the story. At that highest level, you have to be able to do both, I think.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see what NBC does. And, I got a feeling NBC is going to do a really good job. I really do. I think, we'll see.
They brought in Michael Jordan. I have a hunch as to what that role is going to be, but, at least he's on the roster.
It's going to be, that's going to be the Wayne Gretzky role. It's going to be in and out. Yeah. He'll be in and out.
Voice this little 30-second what it means to be clutch.
Exactly. All right, in our last minute, tell me why I should be excited about the possibility of Johnny Bryant being the next coach of the New York Knicks, because it seems like he's the one that's emerging as the guy.
I don't think you should be excited. I don't know why they
I know.
I don't. I think it was a pretty incredible mistake, honestly, on my part. But I think there was a Hawks firing years ago. And I was talking to somebody in Hawks management. This is years and years ago. And it was explained to me that at some point you have to quench the appetite of the fans. And if everybody was really upset with Thibodeau for the way that Pacers series went down, they had to make a change. I think it could have been some of that. I heard that there were rumblings late in the regular season, but to get to that point, to get to those conference finals with that squad, he did more than anybody thought they would ever do, and they dumped the guy. They better make a good replacement. And if Johnny Bryant's a guy, good luck. But I don't think you're going to fall short in all likelihood. Next year, though, Tom, I will say this. I'll give you real quick. I think next year's the year the Knicks have to win it because Jason Tatum's going to likely be out. So you have to jump on it next year.
They the Dallas Stars just fired their coach Mike DeBoer, or Peter DeBoer, where he had they went to the conference final 3 straight years. And they're like, get out of here. Get out of here. 3 straight years. So it's crazy.
What world are we living in when you're firing those guys with that much success?
Exactly. All right, man. Always appreciate you. Great job. And we'll look forward to chatting again.
Take care, buddy.
Beau Estes. All right, let's get a break. We'll come back, wrap up this hour of the show, and set you up for hour number 2 next, right here on the Thom Abraham Show.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show with Joe Hunk on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
Game 1 of the Auburn Super Regional today. Coastal Carolina riding a 21-game winning streak at a nation-best 51 victories. Taking on the Auburn Tigers as a $1.20 underdog. Auburn minus 154, the money line, 11 flat, the total. Coastal Carolina will start Cameron Fluke, 7-1, 3.12 ERA. Samuel Dutton on the mound for the Tigers. He's 7-3 with a 3.84 earned run average. Atlanta Braves today open up a series at San Francisco. Braves $1.30 road favorite. Giants plus 110, 7.5 under the total. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Would you call a plumber for a root canal? The same goes for selling your timberland or farm. Choose someone who understands your property and can help you on the front end so you can capitalize on the back end. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction. As a guide, I have put many hunters in position to take a shot. It's time for you to take your shot. Let's talk about putting you in position to sell your property. Call me at 256-609-0512. Remember, Bo knows land.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, proudly saying Roll Tide and War Eagle. Stop into University Kia today and shop one of the area's largest selection of new Kias, including Fortes, Seltos, Telluride, and Popular Carnival, and fully electric EV6. View all the great specials at universitykia.com and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia you really want, because we want to see you in a University Kia.
You've seen those beautiful epoxy floors in a garage or carport area and have probably wondered, how can I get that done? Well, the answer is Lifetime Epoxy Floors. Lifetime Epoxy Floors is an A-plus rated business with the Better Business Bureau and has been family-owned for over 14 years. They do both residential and commercial applications and get most jobs done in a day. Lifetime Epoxy Floors' motto is, we love what we do, and it shows. Visit lifetimeepoxyfloors.com to schedule a free estimate today and check them out on Facebook.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Spring has sprung, so now is the time to get into Owen Home Appliance Center and check out the new shipment of scratch and dent items that they have at the Somerville location. They got a side-by-side refrigerator down there with water and ice, just $6.99. Or you can head to the highly interactive location at Lacey Springs and get the latest in appliance tech. I mean, you got to check out the 21 cubic foot upright frost-free freezer for just $7.99. It's Owen Home Appliance Center.
Your Fox 54 weather brought to you by Tellini's Italiano.
On a partly sunny to mostly cloudy sky this afternoon, scattered showers and thunderstorms are going to build into the Tennessee Valley. Some of those thunderstorms could be on the stronger end of the spectrum, bringing periods of heavy rain, temperatures climbing into the mid-80s, dropping into the low 70s as we head into the overnight. Much the same for your Saturday, a mostly cloudy sky with scattered showers and thunderstorms. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
And welcome back, Thom Abraham Show. We don't have enough time to get Wolverine Dan in yet. I think he wants a rebuttal as to his raking the 4-foot birdie putt. So we will give him that opportunity here shortly, but the music's about to fire for hour number 2. And I'll just say this. The unknown texter got loose. He said, I played golf forever. You putt out no matter what. At least we did. My brother-in-law was a good golfer. That's what he taught me. I don't have a problem with the rake. We all rake. I don't have a problem with the rake. It's just, do you rake a birdie putt? That's the question. Do you rake a birdie? I mean, if it's a kick-in, that's one thing. Kick-in would be anything that's inside of a foot. That's why it's a kick-in. Foot or less. You stroke a birdie putt, burns the lip, stops a few inches from the cup. They send it back to you. I don't have a problem with that. Bogey putt, 2 feet past the hole. They send it back to you. They're going to make you putt out a double bogey. It's not the rake. You rake a birdie. We'll be back.
Flying nonstop from Huntsville is a breeze on Breeze Airways. They're nice people flying nice people to nice places on really nice planes. Let's be direct. Nonstop from Huntsville to the places you want to go. Las Vegas, Orlando, or Tampa starting at $49. It's time for a weekend getaway or a long overdue week away. Time to check in using the convenient Breeze app and check out. What are you waiting for? Book today at flybreeze.com. That's flybreeze.com. Breeze Airways. Seriously nice.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White, his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey, Wes. Our company, Fleming Roofing and Restoration, specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a fifth-generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your shingles. We can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it, or we can replace it.
Well, you guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10 plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com, or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey, Wes, we show up.
I'm here with Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. With the temperatures going up and temperatures going down right now, now is a good time to get your heating and air system looked at. Thomas, when somebody calls, you guys answer.
That's right. The phones are staffed by us. They're manned 24/7. We're ready to come out and take care of you that day.
How do they give you guys a call?
You give us a call at 256-503-4490.
And you can find you guys on the World Wide Web at
talenthvac.com.
And now is a good time to do this because you guys are offering a special deal.
That's right. We're doing $49 tune-ups this spring. We're also doing free second opinions. We offer that year-round. Somebody comes out, they say you got a back compressor, a leaking refrigerant. Give us a call, see if we can save you some money.
Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. Thomas, one more time, that phone number.
256-503-4490.
AL certain number 21014.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi, breaking NHL news. After losing in the Western Conference Final a third straight year, the Stars have fired coach Pete DeBoer. He was heavily criticized for his decision to pull starting goaltender Jake Ottinger in the season-ending loss to the Oilers in Game 5. NFL, it's on to Pittsburgh today for Aaron Rodgers. The 41-year-old quarterback agreed to a one-year deal with the Steelers and is planning on traveling to Pittsburgh today and join the team ahead of next week's mandatory minicamp. Baseball, Guardians ace Shane Bieber scratched from today's scheduled rehab start due to soreness in his surgically repaired elbow. A champion will be crowned tonight. Texas Tech face off in the winner-take-all Game 3 of the Women's College World Series, 8 Eastern, ESPN. Soccer, Great Britain's King Charles will grant the title of knight to former England player David Beckham.
You need to be more like a dog. Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. Guys know what they're talking about. Be a dog. God bless the show. You are the Messiah. We need more dogs. This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you. So settle in and get your bark on. Now live, here he is, the big dog, Thom Abraham.
Look, I don't speak Spanish. I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho. Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like Elmer McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond? Get off my.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here. And welcome back, hour number 2 to Thom Abraham Show. Next month, the assembled media, SEC media and national media, will meet up at the College Football Hall of Fame in Atlanta for SEC Media Days. It is, I would say, one of the, but I got to say it is the coolest place to do SEC Media Days. No disrespect to the hotel in Dallas. That was cool. Nashville, that's cool. The hallway, certainly, for years and years and years at the Galleria in Birmingham and Hoover is cool, but there's something special about tables being set up all around the College Football Hall of Fame that is really cool. And joining us now from the National Football Foundation is the CEO, Matthew Sine, and talk a little bit about the Hall of Fame procedure and so on. And he joins us now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Matthew, welcome back to the show. How are you?
Great. How are you today?
I am fantastic. Looking forward to seeing you again next month as we come to your neck of the woods. And I think that it's really cool that over the years, I think the first time we went to Atlanta, we were over in the hotel and they were in antiseptic rooms and things like that. And I think it's really cool that they were able to move it into the actual Hall of Fame, which I thought was really, really cool.
Yeah, I think it gives it an added dimension for the entire week. Media Days going 4 days, you need a little bit extra to talk about, and hopefully the Hall of Fame provides that.
Yeah, no, they do provide that. There's no doubt about it. And a big change was announced this year in the coaching criteria. Look, it's not the Hall of Good, it's the Hall of Fame. And you guys do a great job of making it very difficult to get in. We'll talk about the player criteria in a moment. But the change in the coaching criteria from having a 600 record to a 595 record, it opened up, obviously, for Les Miles. It opens up for Jackie Sherrill. It opens up, of course, Mike Leach, and that's the one that everybody seems to want to talk about. What was the inspiration to make this change now? Was it coaches like that specifically, or was there a sentiment that 595 should be good enough?
We work really hard at really looking at those, looking at the criteria every year and making sure that, what we decide is in the best interest of the sport. And, long ago, we just wanted to make sure that, like you said, it's the Hall of Fame is for greatness. And, how do you at least try to define that? That's what we've tried to do. And we've tried to stick with that kind of criteria and be consistent about it, which we have been. As we looked at it, we all grow up trying to figure out math in grade school, and one of the things you figure out early, you round up. And so, as we looked at it, it just made sense. If it allows us to look at a few more coaches, then certainly want to do that without jeopardizing the criteria that's been established.
Yeah. Now, I'm a member of the Football Writers Association of America, so I have a vote. And I will say this: I have said, in the case of Mike Leach, I love Mike Leach. I have all kinds of his press conferences were second to none. I've got all kinds of sounds on my audio board here from Mike Leach. But I would like to see, okay, it doesn't have to be a national championship. I'd want to see a conference championship, 0-2 in conference championship games. A contributor, no doubt, a record that was right around, I think, 596, somewhere in that range. So he meets the new criteria. Good dude, I'm trying to think back. I don't recall a lot of trouble or recruiting issues or anything like that. So good citizen. But when you're weighing, and everybody has to do this, I guess, personally, but when you're weighing what makes a guy a Hall of Famer, how much does his contribution to the game, innovator and things like that, how much does that play into it versus purely did he win enough?
It all plays a part in it. It's kind of, once once someone meets the criteria, that's kind of your invitation in. Okay, now let's break down the merits of your candidacy. Mm-hmm. So you will obviously absolutely take into account, what he did for, really changing the offense. But everything you said will ultimately be discussed when that time comes as to, championships, programs he took over, programs he was at. There's a lot that goes into it. And you're correct. It's not, the criteria lets you in the door for consideration, and then, let's start the debate.
Is there a percentage? You got to be put on 75% of the ballots to be elected. Is there a percentage or a number that you have to receive, or is it a straight majority for Hall of Famers, players, and coaches?
It's going to be a majority. There's not any kind of percentage there. The College Football Hall of Fame, you getting elected is a little bit unique than most. Based on the sheer numbers, certainly, that you're looking at from a player perspective. You're looking at a short window to evaluate, one's college football career. And, there's a lot, you're looking at a lot more institutions. So, it's just a different way of looking at it.
Yeah. Matthew Simon with us from the National Football Foundation. He is the chief operating officer there. All right. So to the player side of this thing, how much heat do you get over the first team All-American criteria, which is most difficult on quarterbacks? I mean, I think that's the thing because there's only one of them that's a first team All-American quarterback every year. And when you look at the sheer numbers, has there been much conversation at all about, maybe we need to, just All-American or, as opposed to first team All-American? Because there are some tremendous names that are not even on a ballot. I mean, it because of the fact that, they never met that criteria of being a first team All-American, especially at quarterback.
Well, there really hasn't been. And, as a reminder, when you look at that ballot, that doesn't mean that someone who meets the criteria wasn't nominated. To get on the ballot, you first have to go through a district screening committee. We have 8 different districts across the country. And based on the number of institutions and number of nominees within said district, we take a certain number from that, and that's how you get to the number on the ballot. So it's first of all, it's tough just to make the ballot. So
Yeah, it is.
no one should ever take that for granted. But and the quarterback is the one that if we do have any discussion or we receive any criticism might come from that. But honestly, not very often. We just came off of last year. Tim Couch from Kentucky was inducted into the Hall of Fame. Well, if you remember his senior year in 1998, at the time there were 6 recognized All-America teams, and 3 players made 2 of them. So we had 3 consensus All-Americans. You had Tim Couch, you had Michael Bishop from Kansas State, and you had Cade McDowell from UCLA. So, it's not every year there's only one quarterback, but for the most part, that has not come up as a discussion. And, just looking at the sheer numbers, you have to draw a line somewhere. You can't,
Right.
Second team All-Americans, you never get to anybody.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So you have to have played within the last 50 years. Obviously that's that's fair. And there's a requirement of, how long since you've been out of the NFL, if you were an NFL player, how long you're out of college football. Once a guy goes on the ballot, I mean, the criteria, whatever it was that made him eligible for the ballot doesn't necessarily change. Do they stay on the ballot then? Or again, I'm using the Baseball Hall of Fame as a deal where, you might be nominated one year and another year you might not be nominated. Once they're nominated, do they stay on that ballot, for the duration, whether they get elected or not?
They do not. They get bound. Okay. If you're not elected, you go back to your district screening.
Okay.
So you have to be out of college football for 10 years. You cannot be actively playing professional football. You get nominated by your school. You go to the district screening. If you get out of district screening onto the ballot, you can get elected. If you're not elected, you go back to district screening. But once you're nominated, you're nominated. You're not. It's not you got to the ballot, you didn't make it, and you're thrown off. No, it doesn't work that way. You're nominated up to 50 years past your last college game. Once you go beyond 50, you go to a veterans committee.
Yeah. And I think that the most difficult thing is, and maybe this comes to the education, that you guys have to continually do with the voters, and that we have to separate what these guys did in the NFL, in their professional career, and what kind of a player they were in college. Because there were so many guys that were so Ken Dorsey was an incredible quarterback at University of Miami. He didn't do anything in the NFL, but that doesn't matter, right? I mean, so that's the thing. It really doesn't. What they did once they left college doesn't matter in any way, shape, or form. So that becomes, but I think in it's human nature, right? In people's minds to think about, like, how could Joe Namath not be a college football Hall of Famer, or Kenny Stabler? No, they're not even eligible because they weren't first team All-Americans. So, you gotta kind of, that's the biggest struggle, I think, for a lot of people, is separating what that person did in the next 10 or 15 years after he was done in college. It doesn't mean that he wasn't a phenomenal college football player, right?
You are 100% correct. It is based solely on their college football career, and everything you said is correct. They might have gone on and had a 15-year great pro career, but if you're not first team All-American, you're not eligible. And it might be, and just because you had a great 15-year pro career and you meet the eligibility requirements. Again, that's not automatic, doesn't automatically get you elected either. It's
Right.
We're going to look at your college football career. And to your point, and there's no shame in it. There's a lot of people have much better college careers than pro careers, and that's totally fine.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too, is being an NFL or being a pro football Hall of Famer has no bearing on whether or not you're a college football Hall of Famer. So that there's that, just because you won the Heisman Trophy doesn't mean that you are going to be a pro football Hall of Famer. We know how difficult that has been for Heisman Trophy winners, when they move on to the league. Now, to that note, you may or may not know this off the top of your head. Eligible Heisman Trophy winners, are there any guys that won the Heisman? And I know that we got 3 of them that are new, on the ballot this year. And I think, they'll all be elected, I would believe. But are there any Heisman Trophy winners that have been on the ballot that are not in the Hall of Fame? Or the Heisman Trophy winners, pretty much that's the boom, you're in?
I mean, not in the Hall of Fame. I mean, other than the ones currently on the ballot.
Yeah, other ones that are just now becoming eligible. Obviously, the most, Bryce Young, the guys like that are not eligible. I'm talking about guys that were eligible that didn't get voted in, that won a Heisman.
You're probably, Heisman's a pretty good, that's a pretty good note on your Hall of Fame bio.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Off the top of my head, there's probably some, as you head into the late 90s, early 2000s that maybe haven't been nominated yet by the school. I have to go back. I just have to go back and check that. I'm sure. I just can't think of one.
Yeah. I can't think of any myself as well. Matthew signed with us here, and so finally, the sport has changed so much. The days of guys playing 2-3 years, all of them is out the window. We have Cam Newton on the ballot this year. He had maybe the greatest college season. Joe Burrow had a great season, but Cam Newton's year was so amazing in 2010, wins the Heisman Trophy. But that was it. 1 year. I mean, for the most part, 1 year. I mean, what he did at junior college or, all of that, none of that counts in this particular case. Didn't do anything at Florida before he left there. 1 year. Does the longevity of a player's career, should that factor in when you're voting it? If a guy was, he played 13 or 14 college games basically and had an incredible year, boom, Hall of Fame.
It'll all be part of, again, it'll all be part of the conversation on when you look at his body of work. And obviously it's a very, very good body of work. It's not bad for 14 games it was.
It was a heck of a 14 games.
Oh, man, that's about as good as they can get. So, no, it'll be part of the conversation. I mean, these are very, once the honors court meets, it's a very thoughtful conversation. And what we really try to do with each class is we really try to find balance. When you talk about position, region, conference, era, you're trying to put together the best representative class from college football and make sure we're doing right by college football. And I think we work really hard at it to make sure you're not going to please everybody, but they've been pretty good classes, and so it's meant to be hard. It should be hard. It should be hard to get in. It should be hard to select, and that's part of the process.
Exactly. By the way, this the new eligibility for coaches dropping to a 595 winning percentage doesn't go into effect until the 2027 ballot. So it'll be time for conversation there. And that does bring me to my final point or question, the whole citizen thing. When we talk citizen, I mean, there's two types of things. There's people who get in trouble. I mean, I'm going to talk about coaches now. There's people that get in trouble with the legal system that have done something illegal. And then there's the other thing, which is recruiting violations / vacated wins. And, I'm looking straight at Les Miles, who I thought was a fantastic coach, but, some stuff came out later. There's certainly some baggage there, with him. How much is that part of it talked about? If a coach had recruiting violations or had some sort of other issues that resulted in him having a show cause or vacated wins and things like that, would that take a guy off the ballot, or can a guy overcome that and still be going ahead and be nominated?
That's going to be, all part of the discussion. If they're nominated, they're nominated, and they'll look at it. They'll look at everything like you just said. If there's any kind of violations, whether it's a show cause, if there's been a off-field issue, whether it's player or coach, that gets brought up. Because the other thing you don't want to do is you don't want to have a situation where you might embarrass the institution or the National Football Foundation or himself. So you'd be really impressed. It's a robust conversation. We try to be really fair about it and try to make the best decisions possible.
I look forward to seeing you next month over there at the Hall of Fame and at SEC Media Days, and I appreciate you taking a few minutes with us today.
I appreciate it and appreciate what you do for college football.
All right, thank you.
It's welcome and appreciated.
All right, thank you. That's Matthew Sign. It's a good job by him. All right, we're going to get a break in here. When we come back, Alan King is going to join us from My Home Window. We're going to find out a little bit more about My Home Window. They jumped on board as a supporter not too long ago, and we'll find out what's going on with those guys, and then we'll get the phone lines going as well. We'll do all of that right after this on the Thom Abraham Show.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show with Joe Hunk on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
Game one of the Auburn Super Regional today. Coastal Carolina riding a 21-game winning streak and a nation-best 51 victories. Taking on the Auburn Tigers as a $1.20 underdog. Auburn minus 154, the money line, 11 flat, the total. Coastal Carolina will start Cameron Fluke. He's 7-1, 3.12 ERA. Samuel Dutton on the mound for the Tigers. He's 7-3 with a 3.84 earned run average. Atlanta Braves today open up a series at San Francisco. Braves $1.30 road favorite. Giants plus 110, 7.5 under the total. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Thom Abraham here for my friends at Your Home Window Company. When it comes to replacement windows, exterior doors, or new window screens, Your Home Window is the answer anywhere in Huntsville, Athens, Decatur, or Hartselle. Your Home Window windows and doors are made here in the USA and come with a lifetime warranty. When replacing those old windows or doors, Your Home Window has the solution for you. In-home estimates are always free and financing is available. Learn more at yourhomewindow.com and see clearly with Your Home Window. Visit yourhomewindow.com to make an appointment today.
Hey there, Bob Baumhauer again. Baumhauer's Victory Grill is extremely proud to have recently received numerous awards, including being voted best wings in the state of Alabama. Other awards received include Best All-Around Restaurant, Best American Restaurant, #1 Sports Bar, Best Chef, Best Wings, and Best Dining Experience. Thank you for 43 legendary years, and we look forward to providing you an award-winning dining experience at every visit. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
You've seen those beautiful epoxy floors in a garage or carport area and have probably wondered, how can I get that done? Well, the answer is Lifetime Epoxy Floors. Lifetime Epoxy Floors is an A-plus rated business with the Better Business Bureau and has been family-owned for over 14 years. They do both residential and commercial applications and get most jobs done in a day. Lifetime Epoxy Floors' motto is, we love what we do, and it shows. Visit lifetimeepoxyfloors.com to schedule a free estimate today and check them out on Facebook.
Carrabba's Italian Grill is the best place to enjoy authentic Italian cuisine, passed down from our founders' family recipes. Featuring a wood-burning grill, you can enjoy Carrabba's signature dishes, including chicken brine, wood-fired grilled steak and chops, and classic Italian pasta dishes. Have a special event? Elevate your catering with Carrabba's Catering, the perfect way to enjoy large party portions of your favorite hand-prepared dishes for any event. Carrabba's Italian Grill at Parkway Place, Huntsville.
Forgiveness. Wow, what a word. What a gift. All of us have done things in our lives that we regret. All of us have done things that are disobedient. All of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Thank God for his forgiveness. Thank God that he separates our sins as far as the east is from the west and remembers them no more. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor at Cross Point Church, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison. Check us out at cpcfamily.org.
Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This segment of the show is brought to you by the Orthopedic Center, where thousands of area residents have gotten world-class care from the Valley's most trusted and experienced group of orthopedic surgeons and medical specialists. So if you have an orthopedic problem and you're considering professional care, TOC is the only logical choice. Whether you have a work-related injury or got sidelined playing a sport you love, you need the best care, the best physicians, the best facility to get you back in a game. And I think you're going to agree that the Orthopedic Center is right for you. Welcome back, Thom Abraham Show. I'm going to get the phone lines opened up in this segment, so get ready to go at 256-576-4977. A few other topics that I want to touch on as well. We do have the Super Regionals getting ready to start. They'll start today. Auburn will be on the field tonight. 8 o'clock, late start. They'll be taking on Coastal Carolina. The chance to get to Omaha for the Tigers for the third time. That's not something that they have done a lot of in the past. We'll see if they can get that done. Tennessee and Arkansas tomorrow, LSU tomorrow as well. So from an SEC standpoint, only Auburn today. The whole, if you will, left side of the bracket goes today, and then tomorrow the other side of the bracket will get going as well. You guys have that are listening in North Alabama have heard me talking about Your Home Window, and they're your go-to for any kind of exterior doors or replacement windows and screens. It is Your Home Window, and we're going to learn a little bit more with Alan King from Your Home Window. He joins us now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. How are you?
Hey, Tom, how you doing?
I'm fantastic. So I got a 110-year-old house, and we've got these windows that are like, they're the wavy glass, and everybody's saying, oh, yeah, they're the wavy glass windows. Oh, they're so beautiful. You got those wavy glass windows. And I'm like, yeah, they're great. But it's like being outside in the wintertime. You know what I mean? I mean, there's the R value would be 0 with those things.
Exactly.
So talk about something like that, where if you got an old home like I've got, for example, a historical home, and you wanted to have those kind of windows replaced, and they're oddball size. It's not like something where you could go to your, local hardware store and find windows to replace something like that. Talk about the process on how you guys take care of a situation like that.
Oh yeah, we we make windows to fit. So Jerry Mashburn, the owner of the company, he always comes back with any order that we do and confirms measurements. And he checks for square and makes sure that the windows we order are going to fit. So, that's not a problem. Now, one other issue, though, Tom, I have to share with you is that if your home is a historically registered home, you cannot put vinyl windows in it. You have to put wood windows in. So, older homes that are not in the historical district, we do that all the time. And they fit perfectly, too. And when it's all said and done, all the reviews we get, almost 99% of them, at least, is your home window company exceeded expectations with installation.
Yeah.
So that's our goal, is to use products that are made, quality products installed perfectly. And by the way, we don't sub out anything. A lot of window companies have subcontractors, which is hard to get consistent installation with that type of setup. So all of our guys are direct employees that install the windows. So it's very consistent. That's why we have such high ratings.
Now, what if the installation isn't exactly square? When you guys go in and you take measurements and so on, are you guys able to make the repairs necessary just to make sure that window fits perfectly flush and is going to be perfectly airtight?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So one of the ways we do that is size the window where it is going to fit in the opening freely, and then when the window's fastened in place, screwed securely. We always fill that small gap between the replacement window and the wood opening with polyurethane foam, which seals the opening completely. No bugs, no air, no moisture gets through. Makes for a very efficient, very neat installation. We always wrap the exterior trim too with a custom formed aluminum. It's all done on site, and that's actually the most tedious part of the installation is the finishing part of it. And that's what separates us from other companies is that we just take no shortcuts. It's done very precisely and very professionally.
All right. So what if it's just screens? Let's say somebody's got windows, but their screens are all shot or whatever. Can you guys come out and do screens that will fit into that casement as well?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Our screen operation is at our Decatur location. Jerry Mashburn builds all the screens on site. If someone just needs rescreening, we can do that. We'll come to you, or you can bring it to us. There's a wide variety out there, but all the screens are custom made. They're going to fit perfectly. Jerry's been at it for over 40 years, so very professional and he's a stickler for detail. So we can do different color screens, different types of the way they fasten in the opening. So we can certainly accommodate that.
Yeah, Alan King with us from Your Home Window Company, serving all of North Alabama. All right, so again, I'm going to use an example of on my property. So we have this big glass front door, and my wife has always wanted to have a screen door, as part of our front door setup there. And the casement's deep enough, and you could tell that back in the day there was a screen door there because the frame for it, and so on. So it's all. If somebody has a scenario, we've looked, we've gone to these places, you go to the antique place, you look at, and it's just a little bit of an oddball size. The chances of finding a screen door that they're going to, fit my casement is very odd. So if somebody has that kind of scenario and they'd love to put a screen door on their home, is that the kind of thing that you guys could build custom to the size that is needed?
Yes, our door manufacturer, they are very adept at making custom sizes. We've done custom sizes previously, either a custom width or a custom height or even both. And plenty of options there. It can be either glass or screen or a retractable glass screen scenario. So there's tons of options, lots of different colors, and no problem with doing a custom size.
That is very, very cool. And exterior doors. You guys do that as well. Now, some people might say, man, it sounds expensive, to have those windows replaced. But I would imagine that when you sit down and you look at the savings, the energy savings and so on, in a period of not too long of time, I would imagine that these things could pay for themselves.
Well, they're certainly very efficient. All the entry doors that we supply exceed the Energy Star levels. Most of the doors we do are 20 gauge steel, which is, if you know your gauges, the smaller the number, the thicker the material. So 20 gauge is very, very heavy duty. It's fully insulated. We also can do fiberglass doors. Again, very energy efficient doors. And the doors are easily customized as far as from the manufacturer as far as sizing as well. And that's very important. You can't just take a standard size door and make it fit when the opening's not a standard size opening.
Right.
So all those things are very important. Again, it comes all the way down to how precise the measurements are, how well the door's manufactured, and then installation is the key. It's pretty tricky to install a door. And we do doors with side lights, doors with transoms, of a variety. We can do decorative glass. We can do wood grain texture, different color inside and out. So there's tons of options. And usually when someone's replacing a door, either the door has failed, rotted, or something like that, or just doesn't fit the opening properly, or they just hate the look of the door. I've had plenty of people come to us that, homes 3 years old, but they just moved in and hate the door. And hey, we can help. We can make it exactly what you want. And when we come out, and we've never put any pressure on anybody either. It's all, just conversational, satisfying their needs as far as what they're aspiring to do. So never put any pressure. And all of our quotes are guaranteed good for 30 days as well.
Yeah, and free. The quote is free, so they'll come out and do that as well. Excellent website. Go to yourhomewindow.com. That's yourhomewindow.com. You can see the galleries there and all the different stuff, interactive videos, things like that. You can check all of it out at yourhomewindow.com. Alan, I appreciate you, man. Really cool stuff,
Yes, sir,
and thanks for the update.
Hey, before I go, I just want to give a shout out to my Indiana Pacers. Tyrese Halliburton has ice water in his veins.
Oh, he's unbelievable. I mean, that guy is just, he took out my Knicks, and now he's already started on OKC. We'll see how it goes, but it certainly got a lot more interesting last night. That's for sure.
It really did. It was a great game. Appreciate it, Tom. Thank you so much for what you do.
All right. Thank you. That's Alan King. Home window. Little update there. Good guy. Good people. Good website. Yourhomewindow.com. All right. So we've been kind of wearing Wolverine Dan out a little bit here for raking the birdie putt. And now he's going to have his say. We go to the lines. Wolverine Dan, welcome in. How are you?
Well, I'm doing quite well. First off, let's start. Well, I was going to say let's first start out with the pleasantries, but everything was pleasant yesterday.
It was a good time.
It was great to have you on the course. I play with Badger Larry and Bama Brad all the time. They're just fun guys to hang out with. We do it almost every week. And when I say that, you played quite well. I mean, for someone that didn't just play a year, and the only thing I could say, you were getting dialed in on your putter, and you were getting a little bit better on the irons, but your fairway woods, you were having a tough time getting it up on the air. But then toward the end of the round, you were getting the ball up pretty good. So.
Well, I've got these new Tour Edge driver, and I did a driver 3-wood, 4-wood, and I haven't really spent any time at the range with them, and they're whippier. I got old man shafts in them, I got them whippy shafts in them, so I've got to just spend some time at the range and get that dialed in a little bit. Once I get those dialed in, I think I'll be all right. But I was encouraged. I mean, I thought I was going to play and then throw my clubs away and say, that's it, I'm done, I'm never playing again. But I felt like it was representable, and if I, God forbid, I played once a week or twice a month for a summer, I might be able to, carry myself out there all right.
Well, I will say this. It's an open invitation anytime you want to play. We'll always still ask you, even if you're busy and you can't do it, but we'd love to have you again. I'd also like to put a shout out to Rambo in the clubhouse. Real nice guy. First time meeting him. A great course, you're right. It was in great shape and everything. I do want to talk a little bit about the round, if you don't mind. First off, I missed a lot of short putts. I probably could have done a lot better than 85. Now,
Wait a minute. Wait. You shot 89. Don't say 85.
No. I'm sorry. I could have shot at 85.
Oh, you think you could have shot? Well, doesn't that mean the fact that you missed those short putts, doesn't that make it even worse that you raked your birdie putt?
All right, let me explain now. This is where I'm going to get into it. Okay. First off, how old are you?
I am 64.
I'm 66 years old. Let's get that straight. First off, that was incorrect what you said. Second thing that was incorrect. It wasn't it was the ninth hole, and it was a 3-iron. It was not a driver. I did hit my driver quite a bit off the deck, and I like doing that. I've got a left to right natural shot is what I have. Okay.
Yeah.
That green.
So it was a 3-iron. So if it was a 3-iron, you must have been inside of 150.
No.
That's like 140 yards.
I was about 165, 170. Now, when that said, Larry was on the hill that was left.
Yeah.
He was up behind the bunker, up on the hill, above where the bunker was. The green slopes to the right. I hit the ball pretty darn nice from left to right, and it got in that slope, and it went to the hole. Now, this is the problem you have. At 65 or 64, I'm not sure what your eyesight's like, but your depth perception was incorrect. And I will tell you why. Because Bama Brad putted this ball inside of my ball, and he looked at me and I looked at him. We picked it up because it was not 3 feet. It was just a little over a foot.
Oh, get out of here. You didn't hit it a foot. It wasn't a foot.
Perception was wrong. No,
you didn't hit it a foot. So you hit a 3-iron from 160 a foot away, huh? Okay.
On the sixth hole, you remember I drove it 16th hole, I drove it really well. I was a little over 100. I took a 9-iron. Same thing. The green went from left to right, slope. And remember, I hit that and I said, I don't think I'm going to make it. And you say, yeah, you will. And sure enough, it sloped down to the hole. Okay. So that's my natural shot. Now, with that said, and that putt I made for, you said, a legitimate birdie was not a 30-foot putt. It was maybe 12 to 13 feet, if that. Okay. So you're dead.
It was 30. You were 40 feet away probably on that putt. You were 40 feet away on that putt, and maybe 3.5, 4 feet on the birdie.
All right. So anyway, all I know is for my age, and I think I'm not a really good golfer, but I'm a decent golfer. That's all I can say.
You're pretty good. You're pretty good.
So the guys I play with. Now, the highlight of the whole thing, if you don't mind me saying this, because it might make your listeners jealous, I finally got a chance to see your very old studio, which is very outdated. And I was very impressed. I did like the fact that your wife framed the wallpaper that was originally on there. It was all newspaper, which I thought was pretty cool. It showed the date that the newspaper was printed. I love I'd really like to give you something small, Michigan, really cool Michigan thing that you can at least put in your room to remind you of me. Because when I'm gone, I want you to be able to remember me. Okay. Now
I would add a Michigan mini helmet to the wall, to the top shelf there with all the mini helmets. I would put a Michigan mini helmet up there because I have helmets from everywhere.
I'm going back up there pretty soon. Now, with that said, 2 more things real quickly. He's got a love shack, people listening to me. He's got a love shack that's behind his house that's about 1,500 square foot, all remodeled inside, and the outside is solid cinder block. So it's / storm shelter home, okay? And he got a great deal on it. And then he blew my mind when he told me what he paid for the property next door. He built a pole barn that looks like Bob Evans Farms. You know what a Bob Evans restaurant looks like. Unbelievable.
It does. Yeah, I never thought of it.
Everything you want in it except for eggs and sausage. And I wouldn't be surprised you put the stove and make some breakfast in it. That place, Tom, is unreal. Tom, you need to wake up every morning, get on those knees, say, thank God you gave me so many good things. And I do too, because I'm a lucky guy too. And there's a lot of people out there that are not. And you know what? There's only one answer to that. It's the guy above. That's all I can say. That's why we have what we have.
That's a good job by you. I appreciate it. No, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. That was a good job. All right, man. Appreciate it. I never thought of the guest house as a storm shelter. It is a block house. That's a great idea. My wife's always like, oh, there's a tornado coming. I'm like, all right, fine. I'm going to the basement. I'm like, all right, fine. I'm watching the game. The house has been here 110 years. All right. I don't think it's going to get hit by a tornado now. But there you go. There's the storm shelter, the block building. I hope Tim Cup is listening right now. He hit 3-iron. He had 160. He hit 3-iron from 160 to probably 3.5 feet. Then he's like, oh, it's a foot. He didn't hit it a foot. I'm calling BS on that. All right. Let's get a break. Let's get a break in here. I got a couple of things I want to run by Joe, and we'll leave the phone line. So you know what? I need to hear either text or call from Badger Larry to confirm the 1 foot, or even Brad. Now, see, Brad raked too, so he might say, oh, yeah, we were a foot away. I don't want to hear from Brad. Badger Larry, if you want to let us know how close Dan's shot was, his 3-iron from 160, 158 probably, I'd like to know. All right, 256-576-4977. Couple, let me see, what didn't I get to? Couple of baseball notes I want to slip in here as well. We'll do that next right here on the Thom Abraham Show.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show with Joe Hunk on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to come test drive any one of our over 100 F-150s. From rock-solid, dependable work trucks to our state-of-the-art Platinum Series, we've got an F-150 for you. Test drive one today, and you'll understand why the F-150 is the best-selling truck in America, going on 48 years in a row. Just as successful offenses and defenses are built on teamwork, Woody Anderson Ford is powered by our people. Our sales and service teams are well-trained to save you time and money. And because we want your business again and again, no one will work harder to earn it. Our mobile service teams come to your home or business for oil changes, brake work, tire rotations, and more. And the great thing is you don't pay extra for it. We come to you with mobile service at no extra charge. Proud to be local, family-owned, and at your service for over 62 years. Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore.
You've seen those beautiful epoxy floors in a garage or carport area and have probably wondered, how can I get that done? Well, the answer is Lifetime Epoxy Floors. Lifetime Epoxy Floors is an A-plus rated business with the Better Business Bureau and has been family-owned for over 14 years. They do both residential and commercial applications and get most jobs done in a day. Lifetime Epoxy Floors' motto is, we love what we do, and it shows. Visit LifetimeEpoxyFloors.com to schedule a free estimate today and check them out on Facebook.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
This is Steve Moulton for Tellini's Italiano. Tellini's Italiano is located right in front of the Walmart, right off of University, behind the McDonald's. More or less catty corner from Topgolf. It's one of my favorite places to go to, and if you go there, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you need to try the baked spaghetti, add a meatball. Also try the baked ziti with meat sauce, add sausage. You'll thank me. Save room for some pizzas and paninis as well. And don't forget about dessert as well. The best cheesecake I have had here in North Alabama is at Tellini's Italiano. Find out for yourself today. That's Tellini's Italiano, right off of University Drive in front of the Walmart. Located online at Tellinis.com. That's TELLINIS.com. Let's get some Tellini's tonight.
Where's the best place for sports? What about the best place for wings? If you answered Jefferson's for both, you're right. Jefferson's is also a great place for value. Every Monday, kids eat free with the purchase of an adult meal, and teachers bring your teacher ID and you eat free every first Tuesday of the month up to $15. And Owens Crossroads, Jefferson's will be opening a new location at 326 Sutton Road very soon. Jefferson's, best place for sports, best place for wings. Hampton Cove, and soon in Owens Crossroads.
Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to come test drive any one of our over 100 F-150s. From rock-solid, dependable work trucks to our state-of-the-art Platinum Series, we've got an F-150 for you. Test drive one today, and you'll understand why the F-150 is the best-selling truck in America, going on 48 years in a row. Just as successful offenses and defenses are built on teamwork, Woody Anderson Ford is powered by our people. Our sales and service teams are well trained to save you time and money. And because we want your business again and again, no one will work harder to earn it. Our mobile service teams come to your home or business for oil changes, brake work, tire rotations, and more. And the great thing is you don't pay extra for it. We come to you with mobile service at no extra charge. Proud to be local, family-owned, and at your service for over 62 years. Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This segment of the show is brought to you by Valley Equipment Rental. I know you think it's just for the big contractors. It's not. It's for you, the homeowner, as well. They got two locations, North Parkway, South Parkway, and this is the time to snag a pressure washer and get those surfaces clean and outshine your neighbors, or maybe a small trencher to run that sprinkler system that you want to get installed, or a tiller. They even got Skag zero-turn mowers down there. Check it all out at Valley Equipment Rental, North Parkway, South Parkway. Yeah, welcome back. Thom Abraham Show, Football Friday. All right, phone lines are open. If you want to jump on board, you can get in right now, 256 497 or I should say, or I'm giving you somebody else's number, 256-576-4977. It's 256-576-4977. Couple of quick things, and we'll get to my cousin Vinny. Chipper Jones getting loose, Joe. We talked about this earlier in the week. He got loose on college baseball with the uniforms and the antics and so on, and the trash talking and everything that's been going on in college baseball. He says it's disrespectful to the game and so on. A lot of this has to do with personal opinion. You like personality in a game. I like personality in a game, but to a different level to maybe where you like it. I don't mind a little bat flip. I don't mind a good bat flip on a big time home run. I don't mind a guy getting real excited, running around the bases, as long as he's still running around the bases without talking to the opponent. I do not like players talking to their opponents. I don't like them talking to the pitcher. I don't like them talking to the catcher or the because I do believe in respect for the opponent, but you can be excited for yourself and your own team, but you don't have to run the opponent down doing that. I also don't mind a button or two open at the top of a baseball uniform. That was one of Chipper's things. He said that with the Georgia Bulldogs, they had, too many buttons open because they had a couple of buttons open, flapping, showing a little bit of chest, in their uniforms. And that doesn't bother me. So everybody has a different threshold. Joe, is there a line for you? I mean, are you okay with a guy backpedaling? A Tennessee Volunteer hits a home run and he's backpedaling as he's going around the bases. Are you okay with that, or is there some line where you draw?
All right, so first off, let's go to the jersey thing. That's a hypocritical statement coming from Chipper Jones about the jersey buttons being open, because I truly remember him playing baseball like that. Also, now with the whole bat flip and stuff and chirping and all that, yeah, you can absolutely do that, because again, one or two things are going to happen. Either you are going to do it and you're beating a team down right now, like the way North Carolina is winning right now, that the other team can't do anything about it, or the next time you come up, you wear one in the back. Okay.
Yeah, but even if the other team can't do anything about it, why would you want to kick the hornet's nest? And two, why would your focus be on running them down?
Because
they're there too. They earned it.
It's a mental game. It's all about the mental side of it. If I'm running around a base,
the mental game.
Yeah. If I'm running around second base and the pitcher's looking at me, I say just keep looking at me, or keep getting ready to look this way, because there's going to be more balls going this way. I mean, I'm going to literally go talk trash as much as possible because you get into his head and it screws him up pitching. And the next thing you know, you've just given an advantage to your next batter. Or again,
but
they're going to wear one in back.
What you just said is responding to, like, if the pitcher's staring you down.
Well, I mean, even if he's just looking,
that's different.
I mean, look, if I'm going to try, I can trash talk you. I mean, there was periods of time when I do the thing, but again, there's also a retaliation factor of it. I'm not going to trash talk you to try to get you fired up if I know that that's actually going to screw me over in the end and it's going to get your team rallied around you that they can come back. No, I'm going to be a little bit more quiet. But if I know that I can trash talk you and it's going to mess you up mentally, oh, you better believe I'm going to chirp in your ear the whole time.
Yeah. See, now I even had a section when I was a college football coach. We had a section in the defensive line playbook that, when we make a sack, we're going to celebrate that sack, and we're going to celebrate that sack with our teammates. Whether the quarterback's on the ground and not hurt or anything, but we'll celebrate it. We're not talking to the quarterback. We're not talking to the offensive line. We're going to celebrate amongst ourselves. I always thought that was the best trash talk. I always thought that got into their head. When they see that you ignore them and you're all celebrating a sack amongst yourselves, and you're ignoring that guy who you just sacked, I thought that was a humble brag.
And a lot of times, again, I'm going to have that mentality of, all right, shut me up then. And then next time you come in and next time you've had that moment with the pitcher, like in a previous at bat on the base pass or something like that, he's going to be more juiced up to try to hit you. But at the same time, he's also going to be focused more on wanting to throw a fastball by you. And then I sit there and I wait on the fastball and I smash it. So, I mean, that's just how I was. I mean, it was just like, it's all the mental game side of it. And again, if you don't want me celebrating, stop me. It's that easy.
Well, let's get my cousin Viddy in here. Viddy, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, how are you?
I am fantastic.
Yes, you are. A couple things real quick, because I know we're almost to the top of the hour. As far as golf goes, okay, I was always taught whoever taught me and however I've played throughout the years, you putt everything unless it's match play. I don't care if you could blow it in. If it's hanging on the cup, you hit it with your club. Anyway, that's just me.
Well, also, isn't there something to be said for if your opponent or your playing partner or whatever gives it to you? That's different too. I don't think you rake your own, right? I mean, don't you typically, if somebody says that's good, well, then that's different. And I'll tell you what, golf etiquette, if somebody says that's good, you do not putt it. Don't putt it if he said that's good. If he said that's good, it's good. If you putt it and you shank it, then it's not good anymore. Oh, you said it was good. No, then don't putt it. Go ahead.
Right. In case, especially if you're like on a wicked downhill lie on the green, okay, and you putt it and you miss it and it rolls down off the green. Anyway, secondly, as far as trash talking, don't trash talk. Just point to the scoreboard. All right? That's all you need to do. Just point to the scoreboard and I'll show you. You're right, Tom. We'll show you. We don't need to trash talk. Secondly, thirdly, we got kind of a conspiracy going on here, Tom, and it's going to take a while to explain it. Maybe I shouldn't get into it today, but it has to do with you too. So I don't know what you want to do.
A conspiracy with me?
Well, it concerns you. Yeah.
All right. Give me the headline.
Okay. Well, the headline is you got people internationally listening to your show, and I'll tell you why.
Really? Yeah.
Okay. Back a while ago, I think you were with Steve Moulton, and we were talking about broadcasters, hockey broadcasters. I mentioned the guy from Pittsburgh who scratched my back, and you guys mentioned the guy from Buffalo when he scores.
Yeah.
When a goal scored upstairs, he'll say, "Where Mama hides the cookie."
Yeah, Rick Jenneret.
During the Four Nations, okay, they showed a headshot. They showed Austin Matthews scoring a goal. Cut to a headshot. He said, "Where Mama hides the cookie."
Nice.
Okay. All right. I'm
Beautiful.
just telling you. The other night, they were calling Gretzky Nostra Gretzky after you called me Nostra Vince.
There you go. Good. Thanks for the call, Vinny. I appreciate it. That's a good job by you. All right, guys. Have a great weekend. We'll talk on Monday.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi, breaking NHL news. After losing in the Western Conference Final a third straight year, the Stars have fired coach Pete DeBoer. He was heavily criticized for his decision to pull starting goaltender Jake Ottinger in the season-ending loss to the Oilers in Game 5. NFL, it's on to Pittsburgh today for Aaron Rodgers. The 41-year-old quarterback agreed to a one-year deal with the Steelers and is planning on traveling to Pittsburgh today and join the team ahead of next week's mandatory minicamp. Baseball, Guardians ace Shane Bieber scratched from today's scheduled rehab start due to soreness in his surgically repaired elbow. A champion will be crowned tonight. Texas Tech face off in the winner-take-all Game 3 of the Women's College World Series, 8 Eastern, ESPN. Soccer, Great Britain's King Charles will grant the title of knight to former England player David Beckham.
Andrews. 24 games, 10 cities. This is legendary. The AUSL on the networks of ESPN.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.